to accept the answer before even knowing the question. That is what religious belief is. Nuri Shabaka, Ursa Ma'adra. Knowledge is infinite, therefore evolution is inevitable. Peace.
Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patamatulu Neferamon Ra, aka Nkosi Yamakosi, or DMG the Agnostic Bastard. Whichever one you choose is all right with me. I know some people got a problem with all of them, but that's their problem, not mine. Now, as usual, before we get into what we're going to do on today's show, let me do my usual greeting. I'm going to say hotep to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. I'm going to say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. I'm going to say assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. I'm going to say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. And I'm going to say God bless. God bless. I'm going to say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. As you know, I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. If you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope that you are with me. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Our different ideologies shouldn't keep us from uniting. And with that, we got Metu, the God, the Kemetic scientist in the building, and NoboDy from Trust and Believe the Gospel. Metu, reintroduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, peace and blackness, everybody. Look good to be black in the building. My name is Metu. I go by Metu the God. I am a Kemetic scientist, Pan-African liberator for the spiritual upliftment of Black people around the world. I am dedicated to making sure that Black people get their mind together, because the most honorable Markham Messiah Garvey said, liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you'll liberate the bodies of men. So that's my goal, aim, and objective, to see the liberation of Black people fulfilled and our people be free as a whole.
All right, NoboDy from Trust and Believe the Gospel. Reintroduce yourself.
What's good with everybody, man? Y'all already know me. Go by the name NoboDy. Always trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody, and that is Jesus the Christ. I am the host of Trust and Believe the Gospel with my co-host, Mr. Co-host to you, Jerome the Conscious Christian Green. And I'm just happy to be back on the platform one more time again, man. Ready to get it in.
All right, fellas. And so, you know, this kind of an impromptu conversation, nothing official, nothing, you know, strictly, no strict rules about how we're going to do this. I'm going to set a timer and let y'all kind of do y'all thing. So the topic I'm proposing, if y'all agree, is, has religion been used as a mechanism for controlling our people? And whatever branch off conversation is had as a result of that with regards to the hows and whys of that particular topic is up to y'all. We can go back and forth for a bit. I'm gonna give each of you 8 minutes to give your commentary. You don't have to use the whole eight. You can concede the rest of your time at your leisure. The only thing I ask is that you mute your mic while the other party is talking, and that you don't interrupt when the other party is talking. We will come to a point where I'll let y'all go back and forth and ask each other questions. I'll let y'all know when we get to that point. Does that sound solid for everybody?
Yeah, all I just ask is, Trust, could you go get your Bible?
I'm at work right now, but I can pull up on my phone.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. So any preferences on who go first?
I'll go. It don't matter. I'll go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just had to make sure you can hear me while I'm on the internet. Cool. Go ahead, bro.
All right, you good with NoboDy going first?
Yes. I just want to make sure that he got his Bible scriptures together so I can tell you what to read, and so I won't be saying something you won't think I'm making something up.
Okay, okay. All right, so Metu, mute your mic. Nobody, your time is gonna start when you start.
All right, we're talking about religion, so of course me, I'm gonna have to go to the dictionary with this. The first definition of religion is the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. The second definition is a particular system of faith and worship. And the third definition is a pursuit or interest to which someone subscribes supreme importance. So based off of all those definitions, especially number 3, we can see that everybody has religion, no matter how much they try to deny it. Number 3, because everybody has a pursuit or interest to which someone subscribes supreme importance. We all have that. So for anybody to deny that, they're either deceived or just flat out lying. Can religion be used like in a cult-like manner? Of course it can, you know, depending on the charismatic leader of a particular religion or institution that follows a religion or anything, you can trap the minds of anybody in anything. You know, some people are just super manipulative. Some people want that control. Some people want that power. Me being a Christian, my religion that I subscribe extreme importance to, as well as superhuman controlling power. It's based off salvation. You know, what happens in the trying to get to the afterlife and make it to heaven. There have been people who tried to use the Bible to control people, but that's not the original intent for why the Bible was written. So it don't matter what religion you follow, even if it's not a religious text, so fact as, you know, the Bible or the Quran or Buddhism or Hinduism or something like that. A person can manipulate you from anything that you subscribe extreme importance to. For example, some people love money. People can hold stuff over your head and make you do what they want to. EI, the entertainment industry. Some people don't leave because of what people have over their head, and they want to make the money, so they'll do whatever a person wants them to do just to get that money. I personally know a person who was signed to Cash Money, and we can go on YouTube, and he let it be known that Birdman had sex with him so that he could sign to the label, so that he could get the stuff that he could get. So it's not just a so-called religious text that you can be manipulated by. Anything that you subscribe extreme importance to, somebody can hold anything over your head to make you do whatever it is that they feel is necessary. Again, when it comes to what I believe in, so fact as the Bible, we know that people have used the Bible throughout history to try to control people. They have had to take scriptures out of context. They have had to pretty much pull a flat out heresy on the Bible in order to trick people or get people to believe whatever it is that they want them to believe about them or themselves. It's a word called orthodoxy on everything. And the orthodoxy of the Bible is not trying to control a person, as in, for example, like how the slave masters did to Black people in America. They would take scriptures out the Bible and only use certain scriptures, and they would twist those scriptures in order to feel just, not only would they feel justified, but they would use those scriptures against people who couldn't read, so that they would feel as if they were doing what the Bible said to do, in which we know that that's a lie. We know about the slave Bible. We know what scriptures they used. We know what scriptures they twisted. We know how they took them out of context in order to fit what they wanted to fit so that they can control power. Same thing with the Quran. I'm not too for sure about Buddhism, but I know Buddhism is a religion of peace, according to the writings of Buddha. It's just pretty much all about peace, you know, trying to live in harmony with your fellow man, peace, 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 peace. Hinduism, pretty much the same thing as any other writing. So again, I don't need the whole 8 minutes. I just want to say that, yeah, any religion can be used for good to uplift people, as well as be used for bad to hold people in the stronghold. Just depends on the person you're following. And at times depends on the doctrine that you're following, and if the person you're talking to actually knows the context of the doctrine, rather than just listening to a person who says they know the context in order to get their information. So that's pretty much all I got on that, Brother Peter.
All right. Now you do have, let's see, you got 3 minutes left. You sure you want to concede all that?
Yeah, I can see.
All right. Metu the God, the comedic scientist. It's on you. Mute your mic.
All right, cool.
You already
All right.
don't mind.
All right. First off, religion means to hold back. It means to bound together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a holding back mechanism just by pure definition of religion. Now, the Africans, the Kemetic people from the Nile Valley, had a religion called Ma'at. You have 42 laws of Ma'at that they practice every day religiously. Now, nowhere in history have they been able to use the 42 laws of Ma'at and twist it to misuse other people. It has never been interpreted and used as a rationale to enslave, hurt, harm, or deprive another people from resources and freedom. The Bible has been able to do that. Why is it that the Bible has been able to do it? There's many scriptures that says, slave obey your master, you know, and do right to those who misdo. See, Africans, we never had no concept of let someone enslave you. We never had a concept of just surrender. It's always been, we understood that we had the power to intervene on behalf of ourselves. So what we did was whenever someone would do something to you, there will be a punishment for that. But there's never been a control mechanism to make them. Look at the 42 laws of Ma'at. If you study that, you'll see that there is no way you can use that to control people in a way that the Bible has. As you said about Buddhism, it talks about peace, peace, peace. But Buddhism is about war as well. You know, and if you want to keep peace, you got to know that war is coming. You can't just stay in peace and not know and be in denial of there's a force that has a different concept than you do. So we always knew that fighting back was a mechanism to keep and sustain the things that we have in control. We got away from that. We thought that other people thought the way we thought. So just like one brother, I forgot his name, he made a good analysis of, you have some people in the church, they praising the Lord, just having a good time, and then some military trained people come in there with guns ready to shoot and kill everybody in there. Who you think is going to win that war? First, the people in the church don't even know there's a war being declared on them in the first place. So religion is a gateway of gullibility. It keeps you docile. It keeps you thinking that you have to start over again. You have to be born again. This is the scripture. It keeps you in a mindset of someone else is going to do for you that, and showing you that you're incapable of doing it for yourself. But what I'm saying is the legacy of our ancestors of the Nile Valley is an option for people outside of the religions, because we think all we need is either Christianity or Islam. Try looking at the 42 laws of Ma'at, which the 10 Commandments came straight out of. Because Moses was born and taught in the ways of the Egyptians. So if he was born of the ways of the Egyptians, he knew about the 42 laws of Ma'at. Mount Sinai, he said he got the 10 Commandments from Mount Sinai. In Mount Sinai are still the 42 laws of Ma'at. It's still in Africa to this day, unless it got on a plane and flew somewhere else. It's still there to this day. So there would not be a religion without the concepts that came out of African spiritual system, but you can't use anything that we had as a justification of harming, depriving, and enslaving other people. But Christianity has always, there's many evidences of telling people, you know, just surrender and just let other people run you over. We don't believe in that. That's it. That's all I say for that.
All right, you got 4 minutes left. You sure you want to concede all that?
I concede to that.
All right. NoboDy, it's back on you, my brother.
All right, I want to start off by what he said about religion is a lie. I just read the 3 definitions of religion. Bondage is nowhere in there at all. Nowhere
I
close
said the
to it.
whole back. It means the whole back.
Whole back is not in there at all.
Okay, I will give you.
Metu, stay muted. Y'all gonna have a back and forth. Remember, stay muted by the other person. Let him do his thing. You're gonna get your chance to respond, and then y'all gonna have a back and forth.
Okay. I understand my brother may have his opinion about certain words, but that's what we have dictionaries for, so we don't have to wonder what a word means. Again, to hold back is not in there. Bondage, none of that is not in the definition of religion. I read all 3 of them to you guys. You didn't hear that in there at all. According to the historical timeline, Hinduism is the oldest religion in the world, not Mayat. What else did he say? Yeah, as I said, yeah, people have twisted the scriptures of the Bible to manipulate people. There are slave verses in the Bible, particularly written to the Hebrews for them in their kingdom. So for a white person in America to use laws that were written to Hebrews for them in their kingdom, that again, take it out of context. The Bible has done more uplifting people around the world of every skin color than any other religious text in the world. Moses didn't just get 10 commandments from God. He got 613 laws from God, which a lot of them are not found in Mayat. When it comes to the 10 commandments, the 4th commandment is to keep the Sabbath holy. That's nowhere in Mayat. Yes, Moses, according to the Bible, was raised in Pharaoh's house. Never forgot who he was. Bible teaches that. Saying that he stole it from Mayat, we have no proof, no evidence of that. That's just rhetoric that we hear on YouTube videos. I can't remember everything that he said, but a lot of the stuff was just what he think and doesn't have any historical proof, documentary, or any evidence to it. It's just stuff that we hear online from different people over the years that have been debunked many times by literal scholars who study in those fields. So again, I don't know. Like I said, again, I will read the definition of religion again, so my brother could come from the actual definition and objectively, and not from his opinion subjectively. Number 1, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. Number 2, a particular system of faith and worship. Number 3, and final one, a pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. And you press the drop down, similarities, say faith, belief, divinity, worship, teachings, creed, theology. It could be a sect, it could be a church, denomination, body, following, pursuit, or affliction. None of them said anything about bounding somebody, holding somebody back, or any of that. I don't know how much time I got left, but I can't remember everything that he said, so I can see my time, bro.
All right, let me see what kind of time you had left. You had just over 4 minutes left. You good with conceding all that?
Yeah.
All right, Metu to God. The brother made some strong claims.
Okay, now there's a difference between the definition of a word and the etymology of a word. You're not talking about etymology. You're talking about definition. Now, the etymology when you talk about etymology, you're going to the root word where it really comes from. It's a Latin word with ligor. It means to bind. Okay, look it up. This is the etymology. This is not the definition. So you're going into modern text, because a lot of words that mean something now is not what it actually means. Like, for an example, the word queen is a German word, but the definition of a queen is the king's wife. But the etymology of the German word means the king's whore. So when you call your woman a queen, you're not calling her a king's whore. You calling her your queen. So understand there's a difference between the etymology and the definition of the word. Now, there is no proof that Hinduism is older than the laws of Ma'at. As a matter of fact, the Hindu people get their culture straight out of the Nile Valley, because there was a time in history where all of India was called the Indus Kush Valley. Kush meaning Ethiopia, ancient name for Ethiopia. It was called the Indus Kush Valley. Read a phenomenal book. It's called Wonderful Ethiopians of the Kushite Empire. Read that, and then you can come back to me and we can talk about it. Don't come to me unless you read that book. It's called The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Kushite Empire. Letting you know the Africans ruled India long before there was a Hindu religion. Now, there's plenty of evidence. Now, if you look at the history of Moses, if he was learning the ways of the Egyptians, why would he not take the 42 laws of Ma'at and use it as the 10 commandments, 10 of those to make the 10 commandments? If he was already there, the people already knew about it. It's like, there's no way that I'm born and raised in America and not know about the Constitution. So if I'm going to come up with something, I'm going to take something with already in existence to make something else. There's plenty of evidence of that. Where is Mount Sinai? Is my question to you. Mount Sinai is still in Africa. 42 laws are still on, the tablets are still on Mount Sinai. There are pictures of that. You can look it up. It's still there in Egypt, what they call Egypt now. So it is a control mechanism. They have used religion as a way to keep people suppressed and oppressed. There is nothing in the laws of Ma'at that says treat people wrong based off their skin color. Don't do let the Lord work things out. We knew that your God having a human experience. Every man and woman, your God having a human experience. So when you know that, and that becomes your indoctrination, you don't let no one control, maintain your health, wealth, and stability in this planet. You have the power to do that on your own. I'll leave it at that. And I can see you all my time.
All right, let's go. Give me 1 second. Get back onto the clock. Nobody. It's on you. Time to start when you start.
Okay. According to the Ancient History Encyclopedia, which is one of the most credible sources, Brown is the oldest god from Mesopotamia, which is older than Egypt. And he's a Hindu god. As I said, the Hindu religion, according to scholars, say that Hinduism is the oldest god, and they say Brown is the first god coming from Mesopotamia. He is right. The etymology of the word, bind and bond. That's why I said the definitions that I read was what I was going off of. But yeah, he right when it comes to the etymology of the word. Religion is what I'm talking about, or whatever. Back to Moses again. There's nothing, again, he has no proof of any of that. That's just exactly what he said. If he was in Egypt, then a learning Pharaoh, then how could he not? Well, that's called assuming. Do not kill nobody was a law before it was ever written down. Do not steal, do not do all that was a law before anybody had ever written it down, before we had writing. People already acknowledged that. So for anybody to stake claim to that they invented those things, knowing that the nature of man would have came first before the writing even came. So that doesn't make any sense. To show that the 10 Commandments were stolen from the 42 laws of Ma'at, I already said Moses got 613 laws. So how you get 613 laws, 613 laws out of 42 laws, I don't know. And it also disproves his claim about that. Again, within the 10 Commandments themselves, we have the 4th commandment, keep the Sabbath day holy, where you shouldn't do no work, and your workers and your animals and all that. That's not in the 42 laws of Ma'at. Again, proving that Moses didn't steal anything from Ma'at. Scholars from across the world will tell you, the majority of them with credentials, well, all of them with credentials, will tell you that Moses and the Hebrews' laws were not a copy of the Egyptian laws, that the Hebrews were their own sect of people, and all that good stuff. We can pull them up one by one if we need to. Again, I just heard outside of him saying that religion, the etymology of the word coming from bond and bond, yeah, he was true about that's correct. That's why I brought up definition and not the etymology. Everything else was just assumptions and rhetoric. So I don't know what else to say. I can see my time on that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna ever need 8 minutes, bro. Me or him.
Yeah, I see. I mean, but I'm still keeping it at 8.
Yeah, no, you're keeping
just in case, because you know.
I mean, I'm not writing them down, so I can't really remember everything that he said for me to address it. But yeah, it's cool though.
Right. All right. The comedic scientist is back on you, brother. Time to start when you start.
Okay. Now, all right. So this whole thing about Mesopotamia is all white supremacist projection. They want to make anything that's in Africa younger than we're coming out of what they call the Middle East. What's called the Middle East is nothing but Northeast Africa. That's all the Middle East is. It's Northeast Africa because there's no Middle South, there's no Middle North, and there's no Middle West. It's a direction. All of that is Northeast Africa. And it's not older than ancient Kemet. Secondly, when you look at the laws of Ma'at, we'll just break down some of them. The laws of Ma'at, it was a self-checking of yourself. One of them says, I have not robbed. I have not robbed became thou shalt not steal. I have not killed. See, laws are made for the lawless. So strangers that came into Africa, these conquerors did not know the laws of Ma'at. So people had to tell them, you shall not do this. That's what the word thou comes from. Thou means you. You shall not do this. When you don't know the laws, someone had to teach you this. But if you did, or if you already knew the laws, you say, I have not done this. I have not done that. And if Moses had 600 plus laws of what you say, why is it saying the 10 commandments? Why is it not saying the 600 something laws? And where you get these laws from? I never seen that in the Bible. I've been a Christian for 20 years of my life. Never saw these other 600 where is this coming from? It sounds like some other stuff. But he was raised in the ways of the ancient Egyptians. That's what he was taught. Okay. So when the reason why there is so much friction is because so much indoctrination has happened to Black people. The first thing that was given to us during the enslavement of African people was the Bible. Why was that the first thing they used? Because they knew that this is a way to control your mind. It's not about controlling the body. It's about controlling the mind. So once you tell the people that there is something that's outside of themselves that's coming to save them, that keeps them from fighting for their own freedom. Oh, somebody else is going to do it for me. The first slave ship was called the Good Ship Jesus. They had you waiting on Jesus to come, and he came in the form of a ship, and we got on it. That is a control mechanism that we have to really take the emotions out of it. See, as you did with comedic science, you take emotions out of it. I want the truth as is, no matter how hard it hurts. Because sometimes you have to let go of what's hurting you, even if it's hurting you to let it go. I concede to all my time. I'm done.
I just jumped. Pianki, you on mute.
My bad. All right, time start when you start.
All right. He said he'd been a Christian so many years and he never knew about the 613 laws. First off, the 10 commandments, the word 10 commandments is only mentioned one time in the Bible, only once. The book of the law is Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. All those are laws. When you read them, it's thou shalt not do this, thou shalt treat your animals like this. That's all. Those are those 4 books. It's 613 of them. So if you've been a Christian all that long time and you never knew that, that's basic 101 hermeneutics of the Bible, basic hermeneutics. I agree with my brother. You got to take the emotion out of it. And it seems that the stuff that he believes in as pertaining to white people saying Mesopotamia came first over Egypt is because of some kind of white supremacy. Well, that's a lie, because white people were also the first people to say that civilization started in Africa. Those same white people, as excavation continued in modern times, with technology has upgraded, that we have found more archaeology, we have found more things. Mesopotamia is what they say now is the oldest land, and it has nothing to do with white supremacy, because if you look at the area that the people are in, they're all dark-skinned. So that holds no weight, nothing at all when it comes to white supremacy. The good ship Jesus, that is Jesus of Lebec, that is his name. He bought that ship from a queen and he named it after himself. Jesus Christ is Jesus of Nazareth, which was in the 1st century. Jesus of Lebec was 1,500 years after. The ship had nothing to do with Jesus Christ at all. You can just pull up Jesus of Lebec. They'll tell you how the ship got his name and all that. Obviously, my brother hasn't done the research, but since he said he wants the truth, that's the truth. Go look that up. Once you do, I hope you don't use that no more. Since you said all you heard of was the 10 Commandments, that's because when you go to church, the preacher is only going to say 10 Commandments 100 times. But if you actually open up the book of the Bible, actually read it for yourself, you will know that the first 4 books after Genesis is called the Book of the Law. We learned that in basic Bible study on Wednesdays. Been knowing that since I was a teenager. Now that I'm a minister in church, I preach from that. I know that because, you know, we have seminary schools, we have scholars, we have lessons, we have exegeting of the text. And this is not even the complicated part. This is the stuff you learn on the first day. So again, what you said about the 10 Commandments, I hope now that I have told you what the 4 books of the law are, and they are called the books of the law, I hope you stop using that as in saying that what Moses got from Egypt is what he taught to the Hebrews when he taught them 613 laws, not just 10. So if you want the truth, that's the truth. And I hope you take that truth, accept that truth, look up that truth, research that truth, and regurgitate that truth rather than regurgitating the rhetoric that you heard from whatever books you read or whatever dudes you didn't saw online. I saw the same stuff. I've read the same stuff. Well, I'm gonna say I read the same stuff. I saw the same teachings and all that stuff in the videos. One reason why I don't follow Kemetic tradition, not because I don't dislike them or anything that, I don't follow it based off how they teach it, because what they're teaching is a lie. We can look it up in history and see that half that stuff they say, as in Moses taking this from, that stuff is a lie. No scholar worth his weight in scholarship that is peer-reviewed teaches that. Nobody. No scholar teaches that the good ship Jesus is referring to Jesus Christ, because the man who got his name, he was Jesus of Lubbock 1,500 years after. It is a fact that the Bible was on the continent of Africa in the 1st century. So Black people already knew about the Bible before they came through the transatlantic slave trade 1,600 years after. So for him to say that our people didn't believe in the Bible under its own merits based off of what they wanted to believe, not being forced because they chose to convert, that's also a lie. It is a fact that the Bible was on the continent of Africa before the transatlantic slave trade. Another fact is that the first Black people who came to America did not come as slaves. A lot of them came as entrepreneurs. They came as everything didn't start until years and years and years after that. The first initial slaves the first initial Black people were not slaves. That's also a fact. I suggest you go look that up as well. I can't remember everything he be saying, but I can see my time again.
All right, Metu to God.
All right, here I go. Now, the first Bible was called, the first Bible was written by a group of people called the Sanhedrins. Look up the Sanhedrins. These are the first people that made the first Bible. And the first name of the first Bible was called the Septuagint version. Now, you might know, you should know, I don't know what school of thought you come from, but historically, the Catholic Church, the Christian Church has had what's known as ecumenical council meetings. The Council of Trent, the Council of Constantinople, the Council of Ephesus, the Council of Constantine, Council of Nicaea. There are many ecumenical council meetings that came together to cut out this thing called the Bible. Did you not know that the first book of the Bible was not even Genesis, it was Exodus? But they had to add Genesis in there later. That was in a council meeting. That means that people came together and agreed to make this Bible what it is. So this should not be something that's ordained by God. This is something ordained by men, told that said that God said, do this, that, and the third. God didn't make the Bible. The man made the Bible. Because in these council meetings, they say, okay, we're going to take this book out. We're going to add this, we're going to put this book in. Because these scriptures was taken from other national and other tribes of people on the planet. The word a holy Bible simply means, Bible means book. That's all it means is book. So it comes from a place, the paper that was made from it comes from a place called Biblios. So the name of the place where they got the paper became the name of the book that they came up with. It became the Helios Biblios. I looked it up. The word Helios Biblios was the original name for Holy Bible. Helios Biblios means the Son's book. The book of the Son, the S-U-N, had nothing to do with a person. Because when they were arching this stuff together, there was no image of Jesus. There was no image of Moses. All this came into existence under the auspices of the Roman Catholic Church. Man made the Bible. It's like you were saying something about people said that same people that said that the world was what did you say about what did he say? You said something about the same people that told us something about Egypt, civilization being in Africa. Originally, Europeans didn't want to give civilization up to Africa. They would rather say Mesopotamia. Years before they said Africa, they started giving that up later. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't something new. The Mesopotamian myth came before the African theory, because they want to take us out of Africa. They don't want Egypt to be in Africa. Even now, today, they say Egypt is not in Africa. They say Egypt is in the Middle East. They say Libya is in the Middle East. All these Arabian countries, these are in Africa. But they rather take that away from African people. But to do that is to take Greece and Rome out of Europe. It just be a big void. And we cannot allow them to do that, because the ancient Egyptians said themselves that they came from the south. They didn't come from the north. They came to the south, from the south to the north. They brought civilization with them. They didn't start it there. They ended it there. It was the apex of our civilization. So do research outside of these Europeans and just start to look at other researchers. Look at our brother Shayanta Diop. Man, God, you got many books. You have The Origin of Civilization. You have Runoko Rashidi, who wrote phenomenal books about it. You have Ashraf Kwesi, who's been there, who's documented. Not only does he have books about it, he has visual documentation. Just do your due diligence, look at the research, and then we can come back and have a educated dialogue on the information that we get. I can see it all my time.
All right. So, nobody, I'm gonna push it back to you, and then I'm gonna let y'all, after this, I'm gonna let y'all go back and forth for a little bit, and then we'll close it out after y'all go back and forth for about 10-15 minutes.
Okay. The Bible being the book of the Son, again, that's more pseudo information that you can find when you just type it in by uncredible sources and sites. I don't read any of those books that you mentioned because I know the characteristics of some of the people who wrote them. I don't just follow European sources. If you follow my Facebook page, I follow a bunch of Black scholars. I also follow the Jewel 3 Project, which has the largest number of Black scholars in their profession than any other YouTube channel that I know of. And I'm not saying it might not be other ones, but That's the one that I know of, and everybody on there is black. Everybody is credible. Everybody has their credentials, their degrees, from history to the Bible to Egypt to all that stuff. There's an Egyptologist named David Falk. I suggest you go follow him. He would tell you that nothing in the Bible was stolen from Egypt. Not at all. He's an Egyptologist. He's been doing this. Well, I don't know how old you is, but more than half of my life or whatever. Well studied, got degrees, all that. Has no reason to be biased on it. Love Egypt just as much as you love Egypt. That's why he went to go get the degree. And he would even tell you what I just said about Moses and not stealing anything from Egypt and the languages and the patterns and all that good stuff. Helios, again, Helios Biblios, I've been hearing that since since I was in my early 20s. I thought it was true too. I actually went to go look stuff up. It's not true. It's just rhetoric that people put out based off, not that the word holy doesn't mean Helios, and not that the word Biblios doesn't mean what it means in the Latin term, but from the language in which the Bible is written, from the time that the people who wrote it in the language that they would have spoke, they would have not even known that to title it that in the first place. The word Bible is not in the Bible. The word Bible, according to the definition of it, it just means collection of books, period. All right, man, what else did he say? The oldest known Bible is the Ethiopian Bible. Not whatever Bible he said. The oldest known Bible with all the books in it is the Ethiopian Bible, Ethiopian Hebrew Bible. And what else did he say? He said the Catholic Church had all these councils and meetings and all that. The Catholic Church is not the first Christian church. The Catholic Church came 2 centuries after the Bible was written in the first century. We have the Council of Jerusalem was a council before there was ever a person called a Catholic. What else did he say? I can't remember what he said, man. So let's just go back and forth. That way I can remember what he's saying, why he's saying it, and we can just address it right then. Because I know both of us say so much while we talking. Maybe neither one of us can just touch on every single thing that we're saying. So I can see the rest of my time so we can just have a conversation.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set.
Can we pull stuff up on the screen, Bianca?
What's that?
Can we pull stuff up on the screen?
I don't know if Metu in a position to screen share, so I don't know if it'll be fair to have you do it and he not able to do it in return. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. I'm cool with.
And I don't have no presentation, nothing. I'm just pulling up like dictionaries and stuff like like meaning of words, stuff like that. I'm not. I don't have.
You good with that, Metu?
I'm cool with it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right, cool. Let me turn on.
It's gonna be. I mean, if that's just if I pull something up. I don't have nothing right now to pull up.
Right.
To pull it, and it's gonna be something neutral, just like when I read the word religion. Just so we can see it together, not so so it won't like I'm coming from.
I got you. Let me make sure I got on. All right, I got on screen share just in case.
Yeah.
So I got it at 15 minutes. Only thing I ask, keep it respectful. Try your best not to overtalk each other because the people won't be able to understand what y'all saying. Neither will I. I'll only intercede if it start getting too hectic. Other than that, I'm just gonna let y'all rock. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so 15 minutes starts now.
All right, what is the name of the first nation mentioned in the Bible?
What's the name of the first? I can't remember off the top of my head.
The first country mentioned in the Bible. What is the first country mentioned in the Bible?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, it's Ethiopia.
Okay.
So they start off in Africa. Okay, what was Moses hidden when Herod wanted to kill all the firstborn males?
From Abraham all the way to Jesus, they all went to Egypt.
Okay. So Africa has been the safe haven for all the saviors of the Bible. Why is it that Africa is now looked at as a bad place when all the saviors went there for refuge? Even Prophet Muhammad said himself, "Go to Ethiopia where no man is wrong." Jesus had to go to Egypt. He had to go to Egypt. Moses had to go to Egypt. And how is it that these people are now looked at as bad people when, if it had not been for those areas, the religions would not exist to this day?
Okay, I stated from Abraham to Jesus went to Egypt. There's only one savior in the Bible. That's Jesus Christ. None of the other ones are saviors. Nowhere in the Bible does the Bible say that Africa is hated or looked down on. I don't hate Africa. I don't know where you get that from. Bible doesn't hate Africa. The Bible told Moses them when Moses wanted to go to war with Egypt, God says, "No, those are my people too." So you getting this notion from the Bible that somehow the Bible teaches people to hate Africans. That's not in the Bible. Now you may have white people.
Why did the Hebrews have to flee Egypt? Why was they escaping this evil place that they were so-called slaves at? Why did the Bible say that these people were slaves when obviously there were no slaves that built no pyramid? These are scientists, engineers, mathematicians, electrical people. These wasn't no slaves. Ain't no slave. A slave is not that detailed. The stones and each one of them didn't have no adhesive to it. You can't even put a playing card in between it. No slave would do no stuff like that.
So you actually gonna sit here? You actually gonna sit here and say ancient Egypt didn't have slaves when every country in the ancient world has slaves? Or do you stand on that?
But did you know that there's a difference between?
Do you stand on that?
Say it again.
Do you stand on that there were no slaves in ancient Egypt when there were slaves in every country in the ancient world?
Based off what is your definition of a slave that I can give you an answer?
Whichever way you want to have it. You can have an indentured servitude. You could have a prisoner of war. You can have somebody to sell themselves to you, to work with you. All the stuff that's mentioned in the Bible the same way.
Okay. An indentured servant. Now, an indentured servant is not a slave.
In the Bible, well, it's in the Bible they use the word, not in every Bible, but like let's just say the KJV. In the Bible, it used the word slaves for indentured servitude, but then some people read the word slave without looking at what they're telling the specific person to do, so they don't know that it's indentured servitude. Now, I can pull up for you right now.
Now, when someone, did you know that? Oh, hold on. Now, based off definition, if I'm wrong, this is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
A slave, you're someone's property forever. Am I correct or am I wrong?
Every slave is not somebody's property forever, so you're wrong.
So a slave is not forever.
They can be, but not only.
But an indentured, what I'm saying by definition, an indentured servant has a time period. A slave has no time period. That's based off my definition. Based off the definition of what we have been through here.
I agree with you. Metu, I agree with you.
What we have been through here in America, we were never supposed to be free. Slave is forever.
Okay,
and now watch this. You don't have him no more than 7 to 8 years.
Okay. Let me say this. In the Bible, didn't it? Remember when I would say it used the word slave sometime when it really should say indentured servitude. In the Bible, it'll be like this person can work for you for 7 years, and this person can work for you for this minute. That's what I was saying too. So same thing I'm saying. So if the white man who brought us from Africa to America took those scriptures out of the Bible on purpose, how was that the Bible's fault? That's their fault. You can't blame it on the Bible.
That's true. What I'm saying is, you're right. What I'm saying is, they still use the Bible as a justification. You can't use the law to justify what they've done to us.
You can use any type of laws if you twist them. If let's just say our ancestors specifically, the ones that couldn't read. If they couldn't read the laws of Mayat and the white man was teaching them the laws of Mayat, he could have twisted them just like he did the Bible. Anybody can do that, bro.
But they never done it.
That's what should have said. They didn't do it. Not that it can't be done. Again, my opening statement on this show was saying that religion is anything that somebody subscribes extreme importance to. You can use any of that to manipulate people or uplift people. So
but you just admitted that they did not use our tradition against us. They taught you against it. So how is it? They
Well,
taught you against
well,
practicing your own voodoo and Ifa and Kemetic and Dogon. They taught you don't even speak of it. You
voodoo
want to
was
go by
practiced.
what I say because the Christian church says this. It says if those who do not accept this doctrine will be anathematized. Have you ever heard that word before?
Yeah, but the Catholic Church wasn't talking about America. That was back then to the Christians who they burnt alive, including Tinsdale, who wrote the Tinsdale Bible. They wasn't talking about
Right. So you do
American
know
slavery.
the
And again, you're feeding off the people who use the Bible incorrectly. That don't make the Bible wrong because they use it. I don't put like this. I don't care who said what. If they didn't use the Bible in context the way the Bible says to do it, they were wrong, not the Bible. How
Right.
you gonna get that?
Right. But what I said to you in the beginning is no one has used our Kemetic doctrine against us or any other people.
Because it faded out and no one cared anymore. So they were using what they were privy to at that time.
But if it had not been for these, if it wasn't for
Kemetic
the
tradition, listen. If the Kemetic tradition was around at that time, and if those people had converted or so-called converted to Kemetic tradition, they would have used that too. It was out of date at that time. That's why it wasn't used.
It was
Yes,
there at the time. The whole concept of an angel comes from Africa. It comes from my aunt. There was no angel.
How many dynasties switched up Mayat? And when did it go out and then come back in up under what pharaoh?
What do you mean? The laws of my aunt is
Yeah.
what they got the 10 Commandments from.
Listen to my question.
The foundation of the ancient world was a black woman with wings. There was no angel in Europe. Anything with wings in Europe at that time was a demon. How did it become an angel? Because they looking at what was African was doing.
Where in the Bible does it say angels have wings?
Well, just no, I'm talking historically.
I know, and I'm talking Bible since you're putting it on the religion. The religion is supposed to follow the Bible. We're not supposed to follow no cult leaders, no what this man. We're supposed to follow the text. And I agree with you. There are, I'm gonna say it for the 100th time. There are people who have misused the text to get what they want. That's the answer to all your questions right there.
No, but
I have no control. I have no control over. If you give me a math book, if you say, hey, nobody, here go a math book, and the math book say 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 4, and 3 + 3 is 6. If I take that math book and then I go to somebody who don't know math and say, hey, man, 1 + 1 is 16, 1 + 1 is something, how can they blame Metu for that? Metu gave me the book the way that it was said. I'm the one took and twisted it. So how are you to blame for it?
Right, but see, the Bible is a belief book. It's not a history book.
It has history
it's something
in it.
You believe. It didn't happen historically. It happened. It didn't happen. It didn't happen literally. It happened within literature.
So everything in the Bible never happened literally.
It did not happen literally.
So Pontius Pilate is not a real governor of Rome.
What I'm saying is just not. It did not happen according to what they say.
No, you said it's not history. I'm gonna ask you again.
It's not history. Was
Pontius Pilate a real governor of Rome?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is,
wait.
It's not history.
Is Egypt a real place?
You can put a real person in a fictional. You can put a real place in a fictional story. That don't mean that it's real.
That's true. But you haven't demonstrated that from the Bible.
Spider-Man is in Manhattan, New York. Their Spider-Man don't exist.
Yeah,
that's just because there's a real place or a real person. That don't mean
Spider-Man don't. Let me tell you this, bro. Spider-Man doesn't exist. Neither the police chief that was in the Spider-Man story, neither were none of the characters in the Spider-Man story. The only thing that was real was New York. So that has nothing to do with the Bible. We have hundreds and thousands of artifacts from real people in the Bible, in real places, at real time, real wars that took place at those times. Now, I agree with you. The Bible doesn't claim to be a history book. There is history in the Bible. The Bible is not written to solely be a historical timeline book, but there are events in the Bible that took place at the time when the Bible said they took place by the people that the Bible said did them. Period, bro. So yes, it is a historical book. So
No,
that
it's not
disproves what you
indestructible
said.
because what happens is you have falsehood mixed with truth. But just because you have a real person in a story, don't mean that the event actually happened. It's like King
But you would
Solomon.
you
You
would
give an
have to
example. Hold
listen,
on,
bro.
give
You
an
would have to
example.
you would have to
Give a
prove
good
that though.
example. King
That's just talking.
Solomon. If you go to Jerusalem now, right now, and you go see Solomon's temple, you just want to go see Solomon's temple, right?
Mhm.
If you go there right now, they will show you a goat pasture and say it used to be here.
Mhm.
So you like, damn, I gotta be amazed by a goat pasture. When you can go to
But
Africa and see
how does that
yeah,
how does that disprove that the temple never existed? Stuff get knocked down all the time. So
if the, and
hold on, I'm saying how does that if you said if a person go to Jerusalem right now
yes,
and they look up the Solomon's temple, they're gonna
they're
find
gonna
a
show
goat
you.
pasture. Right, okay.
They're gonna
How
show
does
you a
that
goat pasture.
okay, how does that disprove that the temple never stood there though?
Now, where is the evidence?
I'm just asking you, how does that disprove it though?
But where
Because you
is the
see a goat
evidence?
pasture.
If I'm going to go see the pyramid of ancient Kemet, I'm looking dead at it. I'm like, okay, that's okay. All right, it was there. Okay,
But that's fine, bro. Everything
but
that the Egyptians ever built is not still standing. But that doesn't disprove
you
that
still
that
have
stuff.
the rubble.
Listen to me though. That
Okay,
stuff doesn't disprove that it wasn't there just because it's not standing. That's my point, bro.
what I'm saying is
I'm
this
at a
stuff it
construction site.
happened.
Wait. I'm at a construction site right now where they're building condos. Before these condos was here, it was another building here. They had to knock that building down, smooth over it, gravel it out to build what they're building right now while I'm
Right,
sitting right here looking at it. So
right,
again, something not being somewhere doesn't disprove anything. I'm
right. But
not saying that I can prove it for you. I'm just saying that doesn't disprove anything. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
what I'm saying is like even with what you're talking about now, there's evidence of what was there that was there. There's evidence of that building. Somebody got pictures. They was there. They worked there. Employees.
Yeah, but
There's
it
evidence.
wasn't no
There's no
pictures back then. So that
evidence.
it wasn't no pictures.
There's
But
no
I mean,
evidence outside of this Bible about a lot of the stuff that you talk about. A
no,
lot
I
of
agree. No, I agree with you. No, I
with
agree with you.
Noah's Ark. He's like,
Everything.
where's the evidence of this art?
No, no,
Where
no.
is the evidence of it?
Metu. I agree with you. Everything in the Bible every single thing in the Bible has not been found. Archaeology haven't found something for every single thing in the Bible, but we have things in the Bible that have been found. We have hundreds of thousands of artifacts from the Bible that prove places, time, events, and all that. So just because you can point out a specific one that they haven't found yet, it doesn't disprove anything, bro.
Where
And
are the
you
hundreds
bringing
of
up
thousands?
and then
Where are
bringing
the
up
hundreds of
Egypt,
thousands of evidence and
bringing
stuff in the Bible when the most toured place on the planet when it comes to archaeology is Egypt? Why is that the most toured archaeological place when you say all this evidence is
people
about the
want to
Bible supposed to
people want
exist?
now. I can't say why each individual want to go to Africa, but if I can make an assumption, they want to see it. People travel the world all the time. What does
Right.
that
So
mean?
I mean, if I'm
What
a
does that have to do
Bible
with anything?
believer, if I'm a believer of the Bible, the first thing I want to do is go see these places that they mention in the Bible. You don't even see them. They just showing you
Uh,
some land.
no,
What
no.
they, what I'm supposed to
You
do with
named
that?
the Solomon's Temple, and I agree. They don't have the Solomon's Temple, but I just said there are hundreds of thousands of things in the Bible that you can go and see, and museums all around the world, bro. What are you talking about? Just because you want a specific one to be shown that they don't have archaeology for, that doesn't disprove the Bible, bro.
If you was to take look, if you was to take, this is a fact. You can do your research. You can travel yourself. If you
25
take every,
seconds. 25 seconds.
if you was to take
25 seconds for what,
every,
Bianchi?
hold on, if you was to take every African artifact out of Europe, they wouldn't even have a museum. So what are you
25
talking about?
seconds out of y'all 15 minutes is left.
Oh, nah, bro, you gotta keep it going. I mean, Mitchell, if you ain't finna go nowhere, bro, I don't mind it still going. Do you mind?
Oh man, we going in. I'm
Okay, yeah,
Bianchi down
Bianchi,
tripping.
bro, scrap that. Go ahead, Mitchell.
I'm just saying. Hold on, real quick. Cause y'all hear the alarm going off, so y'all know y'all been going in.
Man,
So,
it just like getting good shit.
so look, I reset it.
You the one tripping, brother.
Hey, I'm not. I was just letting y'all know.
Yeah, tell him, Metu. Nah, tell him, Metu. Tell him again.
Hey, whatever. I said 15 minutes. I was just letting y'all know the time up. I just hit it again. Go in. My bad for the interruption. Go in.
Okay. All right. All right. We can leave it alone. We can do a part two.
No, man. Metu, this me and your show now, bro. We're gonna kick Bianchi out,
Yeah,
bro.
keep
This
going.
me and your
Keep
show.
going.
If you remember what you were saying, Metu, keep on going, bro.
Keep going.
If you okay, I was thrown off.
Okay, well, I'll switch it up. I'll switch it up, and then we'll probably get back to what me and you were just saying. If we, while we just flowing or whatever. I want to bring up something real quick, just so I can show you. You had brought up the good ship Jesus, and I was telling you that had nothing to do with Jesus Christ. I just want to show you that.
Wait a minute, did I say that have anything to do with Jesus Christ? Is that what I said, or did I say it was a good ship Jesus?
You said that it was a good ship Jesus, and that was the first ship that they brought to Africa to put us on slaves because they wanted us to look up.
Did I say Jesus Christ? I say it's called a good ship.
That's what you were inferring, though.
That's what you thought.
No, that's what, bro. I didn't have these arguments with hundreds of people.
No, but that don't mean
the first thing they bring up is Jesus was stolen from Horus, and the first slave ship was named Jesus. If you wasn't,
now you're insinuating that I'm saying something that I'm not.
Hold up, Metu, now come on, Metu, let's just be honest, bro. We were talking about the we was talking about the Bible. We all know that since we're talking about the Bible, we're talking about slavery. You brought up Jesus. Now, come on, you didn't even know that it was the Jesus of Leviticus. You was talking about the Jesus of the Bible because we were talking about the Bible, bro. We ain't got to.
You're insinuating. You know how?
Okay, well, okay. If I assume, my bad. Okay.
His name was Joshua. His name was Joshua. I know there's a bunch of Joshuas historically.
Okay,
I'm not talking. See,
if I was
but
wrong,
you're assuming.
Listen to me, bro. If I was wrong, if I was wrong, I'll get that to you. I just want to make my point. So whoever you have this next conversation with about this, you probably won't even bring this up. Right here, it shows you Jesus of Lebet. It shows you the naming of the ship, where the ship came from, who the king it came from England and all that. It had nothing to do with Jesus of Nazareth at all. My first time getting into Christian apologetics, up until now, even right now, I still hear people use the good slave ship Jesus, and because they think that it was referring to Jesus of the Bible. So hopefully, if you didn't mean that, my bad. If you did mean that, me showing you where the ship did come from, hopefully you will never bring that up in a future conversation with somebody else, because that's not what that ship was named after. But go ahead, my brother.
Okay, yeah, that's how. See, I know I'm careful what I say, because I'm only controlling what comes out of my mouth, not how people interpret it.
Well, let me ask you this: why would you have brought up Jesus when we were talking about? I'm gonna cut you off. I'm sorry. I just want to get this clear. What was your point of bringing up the good ship Jesus if you weren't talking about Jesus Christ?
What I'm saying is, we was enslaved in the name of Jesus. Did I say name of Jesus Christ? No, I did not. I said we was enslaved in the name of Jesus.
Which Jesus?
That should make you think something. You know,
it's only one Jesus, bro.
Right. According to the Bible, there's only one Jesus, right?
I mean, as in I saved you, the word, yeah, stuff like that. Not that it was nobody else named Jesus.
There's only one Jesus, right?
Yeah, Yeshua, Jesus, the Son of God, God Himself. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So listen, I'm agreeing with you. People have been enslaved under the name Jesus, but again, we're talking about Jesus of the Bible. And when you brought up the good slave ship Jesus, you was talking about Jesus of the Bible. That's all come on, man. But anyway, next subject, man. We can move on. You ain't got to work your way out of that.
See, but the thing is, according to the Bible, Jesus had more than one name.
Yeah. Jesus.
There's a contradiction even in the Bible. Jesus had another name.
Yeah, Jesus was known by many names: Savior, the water of life, the breath of life.
I'm saying he had another name. See, in the Bible said there's only one name
under heaven by whom one must be saved.
Right, but it's truth, it's falsehood mixed with truth. So now you got a ball of confusion.
What's the falsehood in this?
Confuse people. In the Ethiopian Bible is not the first. Okay, let's go historically. Let's take emotions out. Let me break it down to you.
We're not talking about emotions. The Ethiopian Bible is the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest complete Bible in the world.
Let me tell you and break it down to you. The printing press was invented by a guy named what's the guy's name? Guys, hold on, let me get it together. Gutenberg. Gutenberg was he invented the printing press. He made a Bible called the Gutenberg Bible. You mentioned someone else had another. See, now the Bible has all these different versions. So how can you say that the one that we are now spoon-fed is more authentic than the other ones? We don't know who's King James.
You said how can I say that? Is because the Bibles that I have looked up, which I haven't looked up every single translation of the Bible, but you can trace back translations of the Bible to the oldest copies that we have written on like papyrus and sheepskin and all that stuff. So you can follow the doctrine through its historical timeline.
Right, but what I'm saying is the other Bibles, there are scriptures that are in the King James that's not in the other Bibles.
Yeah,
so it's not
there are books.
Like William Shakespeare quoted his name in the King James Bible.
Not just scriptures. Not just scriptures. I'm agreeing with you. Not just scriptures. There are whole books that are in some Bibles that ain't in other Bibles. So yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
There are books. There are books in the Bible mentioned in the Bible that's not in the Bible.
Okay.
Did you know
and those are called pseudepigraphers.
No,
for example.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
did you know that there are
I just told you what they called. Metu, they're called. Yes, I know, bro. I'm a minister. They're called pseudepigraphers. Just like, for example, the Bible mentions Enoch, and then we have what's called First and Second Enoch. But Enoch didn't write those books. Somebody else wrote those books and put the name of Enoch on there, so that religious writers would read them. They're called pseudepigraphers. They were never in the Bible in the first place to be taken out. They were added into modern Bibles. That's what happened, not the other way around.
But it was in the Bible.
No, listen to what I just said. Those Bibles were added, those books were added to the Bible, not taken out the Bible. It was the other way around. They're called the Apocrypha. The canon, the books that we have in the Bible now, the 66 books that are known as the canon, that's the original canon of the Bible. Those other books were added in, not taken out, bro.
Okay, now, if you go to your Bible, you go to Bible Dictionary, wherever you go to Joshua 10:13. It talks about a book of Jasher. Why is the book? It mentioned the book of Jasher. Why the book of Jasher is not in the Bible? It mentions in the Bible. Why was it taken out?
You said
the ecumenical council meeting. Hold on, the ecumenical council meeting of the Christian Church authorized certain books to be put in, certain books to be put out. So this is a man-made construct. Did you even? I don't even want to say that you knew, because I don't know. Did you know that Genesis was not the first book of the Bible?
The oldest book of the Bible is Job. First off, the Bible is not in the Bible is not in chronological order. We're taught that first day of seminary as well. So just because it's first, hold up. For example, inside the New Testament, Matthew is not the first book. Luke is. So the Bible is not in chronological order, bro.
Okay. Now, who put this Bible together?
It's a collection of writings from the people who are mentioned in the Bible from what's the word I'm looking for? From oral tradition all the way to written tradition.
So you will agree with me when I say that the Bible is an incomplete book?
No, I believe it's complete.
But you just mentioned there are books taken out of the Bible. If there are books taken out,
I did not. Metu, listen to what I said.
Metu,
I did not say that. Metu, listen to what I said. I did not say that, bro. Listen to what I said. I said the original 66 books was the canon. That was the first canon. Those other books were added to the Bible, not taken out of. It's called the Apocrypha, bro. The Apocrypha came along later. The Apocrypha, so in fact, is First Enoch, Second Enoch, Jasher, First Maccabees, Second Bees. All those books in the Apocrypha are called pseudepigraphers. A pseudepigrapher is a book written in another person's name, not from the person who actually wrote it. So no, those books were never taken out of the Bible. They were added into the Bible. That's my third time saying that, bro.
But you're wrong.
I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you.
The reason
We can
why I'm
have a
saying
debate.
that you're wrong is
We can
because
have a
it's
debate
not
on it.
in there. It's like there's an external book with a compilation of books. It's called The Lost Books of the Bible and the Lost Books of the Garden of Eden.
Yep, I
Have
know
you
exactly.
ever heard
Now
of
watch
it?
this. Watch this. Notice what it
Have you
says.
ever heard of it? Have you heard
Yes,
of it?
yes. And
Have you
I'm gonna
read
tell
it?
you about it. Watch this. The title of it is what misled you, because they call them lost books. The books were never
Right.
lost.
Then why
Those
they're not
books
in the
never
Bible?
faded away. Hold up. You can find early Christians outside of the Bible talking about those books. Those books were never lost. They were never in the Bible. They were books written around the time of those people who were alive at that time. They were never in the Bible, bro. This is my fourth time saying that. They're called pseudepigraphers, bro.
You're still repeating. You can repeat a lie all day.
I'm not.
What I'm saying is,
Go look up the word.
look, this is
Go
what I'm
look. Hold
saying.
up. Go
Because
look up pseudo.
the old,
Metu. Go
okay, did
look
you
up
know that
pseudo.
the
Go
Old and the
look up
New
the word
Testament were two
pseudepigrapher,
different
bro.
books? Did you
Say
know
who?
that at a time of history, the Old Testament and the New Testament were two different books? How did they
Two
become
different
one
books.
book?
You said the Old Testament and the New Testament were two
Old
different books.
Testament and the New Testament were two different books.
It didn't become a Bible form until all of the books were collected. Yeah, they had the Torah before the New Testament came, but they were never two different books. In fact, Jewish scholars will argue that it shouldn't be a New Testament and an Old Testament. It should just be a continuation of one story. So,
Right, but what I'm saying is
so
these
they were
were
not two
warring
different books.
books. These are books that people fought over and died. They were two different books that was amalgamated on purpose by the Catholic Church. See, the Catholic Church control Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. You might not want to accept it, but it's
Because it's
the
not
fact.
true.
The
It's
Catholic
not
Church
true.
controls that book.
They do not. The Roman Catholic Church is where you find the Pope. The Pope is a Catholic. He follows Catholicism. He has no power over other Christians.
Do you know what the word Pope means? What Pope means?
I don't, and I don't.
Okay.
I don't follow the Pope.
Okay, this is the Santa Claus.
It's kind of irrelevant because I don't follow the Pope. Now watch this though. I just told you the Catholic.
I used to be a Catholic.
If you used to be a pastor, then you should know that the canon of the Bible was closed 200 years before the Catholic Church ever started. We already had the Bible before the first Pope, fam. So how could they have wrote the Bible if the canon was already complete before the institution ever existed, bro? You should have learned that in seminary, bro.
Existed before these canons you're talking about. See, Pope, this is what Pope means.
Say it again.
I'll tell you what the Pope means. Pope means Christ on earth.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's okay. That's right.
Okay,
wait. I didn't know. I didn't know that the word Pope meant that. Now, vicar means that. You know, the Pope. The Pope have a crown on his head. The Pope have a crown on his head, and it says Vicar of Christ. That's what that says. The word Pope itself don't mean that, but I got you though.
Right, but it means Christ on earth. Just like
that's true. That's true.
Just like the Santa Claus myth. Santa Claus has a name. He has many names.
Stay on the Pope. Stay on the Pope, man. Don't take me on another rabbit hole, man.
All this is interconnected.
Okay.
There's a name for Santa Claus. Santa Claus wasn't his name. Okay, people say Saint Nick, which was a black man, but he had another name. His name was Kris Kringle. You know what Kris Kringle? Did you know that? You heard that word before, right? Kris Kringle.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what Kris Kringle means?
I don't know what it means, but if you just said the Pope meant one thing and it didn't mean that.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to tell you what Kris Kringle means. Christ our Savior.
Okay.
This is the dude that's supposed to be Santa Claus. The one that the children are waiting for to come in the middle, like a thief in the night.
Yeah. Well, the real Santa Claus and who the story is actually based off of is actually a church father named Saint Nick. That was a black man. That was a real person. His name was Saint Nick, or whatever. He used to give gifts out in the neighborhood. Somehow white people whitewashed it, and then we got the Santa Claus and Rudolph and all.
What I'm saying is, so if they had the power to do that, they had the power to do a whole bunch of other stuff. Because we already know, the letter J wasn't invented until the 1600s. So his name wasn't Jesus. We know his name was Yahshua ben Yosef. We know that. That's nothing to argue with. His name was Yahshua ben Yosef. Now, by
That
his
was
name being Yahshua ben Yosef.
That's how you pronounce his name in Hebrew.
In Hebrew, his name is
Jesus,
Yahshua ben Yosef.
right. In Greek is Elios, and the letter J was not invented until 500 years ago. But we had a
Right.
J. Have you ever seen in writing where it have the I with the elongated period on it?
That came later. A pope made the hook to the I.
That was no. I'm talking about you have like what alphabet is that in Latin? You have the I that we have today, with the dot and then the line, and then you have the two dots and then the line. That was the J sound back then. So yeah, we didn't have the letter J as in the English letter J until 500 years ago. But there was a sound and letter for J way back then in the Latin language. So Jesus is his name.
No, it's not about Latin. Jesus is supposed to have been a Hebrew, correct?
Yeah, Jesus is a Hebrew from the tribe of Judah. But when Jesus walked the earth, Jesus spoke 3 languages. He spoke Hebrew, he spoke Aramaic, and he spoke Greek. Now I'm not denying his name is Yahshua. That's his name in Hebrew. His name is Jesus in English when it's transliterated, just like it's Elios in Latin when it's transliterated. These are just transliterations of the name Yahshua. Same person. Just like if you want to call me Nobody, if you want to call me Jacobus, if you want to call me Wire, they all talking about me. Those all 3 of my name. It doesn't matter. Same person.
No, what I'm saying is this Hebrew man name was I'm a Kemetic. My name is Metu. Okay, that's my name. No matter where you go, it's Metu.
That's you.
It's Metu across the board because I am a Kemetic brother.
But that's not true for all names, bro. Some names can be transliterated. So Jesus is one of those names that can be just like the name Joshua can be transliterated, just like the name Jesse can be So some names.
But what I'm saying is,
some names
if
can't
you're
be
going to
transliterated.
talk about someone, if you're going to talk about someone in their ethnic group, you're going to speak to them in that language. I'm not. If
I don't speak that language, I don't have to call him. I don't have to call him by the name at all. I can call him by the name by the language that I speak. So what?
Right, I understand that, but this Hebrew man name is Yahshua ben Yosef.
That's fine.
Jesus, the son of Joseph. Okay, Ben means son of. Okay, that's obvious. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, there is no historical backing when it comes to these scriptures that they're giving us. There is no way that this man Solomon had 300 wives. There is no way that when you go to these places, you say, you know what, I see some relevance in it. I see the holes on the wall, but this didn't happen the way they said. These people, they have rewrote history. They wrote us out. Read this book, and then we can talk. The name of the book is called Black Out Through Whitewash. They wrote themselves in and wrote us out. So now we have this big problem that we now have because someone has took Black people, African people, from their respective commentary of history. We don't know where we go in history. So when you don't know where you are in history, other people can tell you where you go. See, the thing is, if you don't know your past, you can't predict your future.
That's a lie, but yeah. What I was going to say,
you can't predict your future. You don't know your past. Our brother Bob told. He said, "In this bright future, you can't predict your past."
That just mean he was wrong. Then just because somebody quoted something, don't mean they're right. There are people.
It was right.
Hold up, bro.
How can you predict something when you don't know where you are?
If you let me explain it to you, I will.
Okay.
There are people who don't know their mama, don't know their daddy, don't know their grandparents, none of that. There are people who live total separate lives. My mother's best friend, she's adopted, if I'm not mistaken, over the years, she's adopted like 7 children. And they get them as infants because their parents died or something happened, or they don't even know who their parents is. She has a white son. All he know is her. He don't know nothing about his family. I'm talking about his original family in there. You mean to tell me that this dude can't say, well, I want to go to college when I get older, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to, so that quote ain't nothing but a quote. That don't make it true, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, when you have a systemic system, that molds the mindsets of a people, no matter where they coming from, it's still gonna create a problem. See,
Yeah, it
that
can
white
happen. Yeah,
boy
I
could be
agree.
raised, that white boy could be raised from all black people. But because he's raised in a system of racism and white supremacy, he's still gonna feel like he deserves more than other people.
Well, you can't make that claim on anybody. That's just an assumption, because I know white people who stay in trailer parks who don't benefit from the so-called white supremacy and could care less. I know white people who wish they were black people. I know
See, but
Mexican people who wish
we
that they
can't, we
was
can't judge
like.
we can't judge
So
people
what are you
based off
talking
our
about?
personal experience about a few. We can't judge white people based off. We got to look at the history of all white people. They have a history of that.
That's what
We
you're.
can't go by how we feel about individual white people.
That's what you're doing, bro. You're judging all white people based off of a few. That's what you're
No,
doing.
I'm gonna judge them all based off the history.
Yeah,
I don't
but
judge
you're going
nobody
based
off
off, bro. Every white person doesn't write history. Every white person doesn't agree with other white people on things. Like, for example, look at right now today. Look at how many white people hated Donald Trump as a president. Look how many white people liked him. Look at how many white people. Hold on, wait. Look.
That's a
Hold on.
family feud, but they still gonna benefit from
Look
it.
at how